So this is my trip down to Arkansas for rendezvous in the Ozarks. Just starting off with some like trail footage. It's my first time really doing this, so I really wanted to. This is what I could think of as an okay GoPro setup. It's just inside the dash, following a Tundra through. These are guys that basically allowed me to just hop along, which is really nice of them to do because pretty sure they paid for this and I did not. So we're just kind of starting off. Nothing was real hard on this one. Of course, we're in the Cayenne 2013 Cayenne, and just kind of going along. Got the radios going. There's a lot of rattling and stuff like that, which is why I got the audio off. And it's just easier to kind of talk your way through it instead of you guys just sitting there watching me drive through through this road here. So Arkansas was absolutely gorgeous. It's way better than I ever thought Arkansas could be. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I'm from Missouri, and I knew there wasn't a whole lot of Missouri to hit. So I was just really excited about just hitting this stuff in Arkansas and learning from people that have been there. So just kind of following these guys through. Guy Tom allowed me to use his radio so I can at least hear what was going on. You guys will hear, if I had audio on, you guys would hear all that. But it was just something that I figured I'd talk through. So you guys can understand where I'm going, where my mindset is on my very first time actually out on trails. About 6 hours away from home. So we'll see what we got going on. So I know we come up on a water crossing here pretty dang soon. And I wish I could figure out I need to figure out how to get different angles, because this water crossing was way prettier than this camera angle made it seem. The water wasn't real deep, but like to the left and to the right of it, it was just absolutely pretty water. See, I think at this point they had thought that there was a gate that was crossing it, and they're trying to figure that out. Turns out it was just a gate that was to somebody else's property. The trail went on alongside of that gate, but from where the angle was, you couldn't really tell. So, but I think we're moving here. It was a little chilly this day too. I think it was probably in the mid to upper 40s. But it was nice just to be able to drive in. So. Yeah, these guys are slowly going across here, and then it basically goes straight up from there. So. Definitely can see like a camping spot there, which would be kind of cool, just right there on the creek on either side. Be able to set the tent up and have fun. So. Yeah, nothing real deep. Made it right on through. So. Waited for him to get on up a little bit before I started going. One thing I learned was when you're doing these trails is you worry about the person behind you, not the person in front of you. You're responsible for the guy behind you knowing where to go next. Something I didn't know before, so I definitely jotted that down in the memory for future endeavors and adventures. So, again, just kind of giving some space. It is pretty steep. Probably kind of hard to tell in video, but it was going up there. So. Porsche is doing fantastic, actually. I'm on a little bit smaller tire than the rest of these guys. It's only about like a 31.5 inch tire. I do eventually want to go to a 33, but for what this was doing, it did just fine. No issues or anything else. Did smack a couple rocks underneath, but nothing caused any damage or anything. So. This trail just seemed to keep going up and up um, for a while, it felt like. So, been to mountains in Colorado and stuff like that, but definitely they got some big stuff going on in Arkansas as well. So, this is in the Ozark National Forest. So, a lot of prettiness. Um, the event was fantastic. A lot of vendors down there, camped out, had a blast. Brought the new puppy Ranger, husky puppy, probably about at the time of this video about 5 months old, 4 months old. So you get towards the top and it just opens up, and it was absolutely stunning. Here I'd kind of lost the trail, or the guy in front of me. Um, but the guy behind me was in a Jeep, and he was going a little bit slower than the rest of the group. Nothing wrong with that, but I just wanted to make sure that he knew where he was going with the rest of the group, and that no one was going to be kind of stuck. So, it's kind of, yeah, now they're all kind of waiting up, and because especially when there's like a different turn in the road like here, you want to make sure that the guy behind you knows exactly where you're supposed to be going. Don't want to lead anyone off into the wrong area. So as it kept going up, it just eventually just kind of cleared out, and it was not something I expected. That is for sure. Just driving up, I mean, we're still going up. So at this point, I don't know how far we've gone up, but it's a pretty big incline since we had gotten off that creek. But yeah, it just opened up into this real pretty area that just almost seemed unreal from what we were just going through. Camera had dropped here, so I decided to basically pick it up and kind of show you around what was going on. We're about at the end of this first trail, and it'll cut off, and we'll go back to this where we head up on a second trail that's a little bit more technical. This one was pretty, there was nothing real technical about it, but this one got pretty technical pretty quickly. And it was something I noticed, that these trails down in Arkansas are tight. There's really nowhere to turn around at. uh, which isn't a bad thing. But if you come up to something like the ones we hit, there was no way to go to bypass it. You had to go over it. Um, but it made it fun. It made it fun. This time I'm behind the Range Rover here, or Land Rover, whichever Defender I think it is. Very cool car. From my understanding, they had a Jeep Gladiator before, and now they got this, and they had a trailer back base camp that they had towed behind it. Big fan of it. The airlift on it raised it quite a bit. So even with that being there, I'm pretty sure it's a lot more capable than my own Cayenne. So now we're just kind of going through here, and we ended up actually coming up on another group eventually, and having to turn around and go back the other way just because of how tight it was. And there's a big drop off at the where we needed to go that I don't think half the, including my own vehicle, could have made it down. So. Now this is where we get to a point where there's a hairpin turn on some pretty decent sized rock drops, and the camera does not do that justice. We had to have spotters to come down this. Some of them didn't. There were some Jeeps that were with us that obviously did not, but like me and even the Defender in front of me needed to be able to put a tire in the right spot to be able to drop down correctly without damaging anything underneath. That is something I plan on getting here, is rock sliders and skid plates, but have not done that yet as they are quite expensive. Um, but yeah, now we're just kind of in the waiting game to see who's going down, and we got about 10 of us, and we're all taking our time basically getting down this thing. So that Range Rover's made it down, and now it's my turn. And luckily, the guy there was able to help me out. So, because I couldn't really see where I was going. And I had a general idea, but again, of course, this is my first time really doing stuff like this. Like, I've driven forestry roads, stuff like that, but I've never climbed down anything like this before. So it was nice to have people that were willing to help out and help guide me down without really, I don't think I hit anything, didn't damage anything. It made it down fairly smooth, but you can see it's kind of hard to tell on camera. Wish I had gotten a better angle of this. Something I am in the learning processes of. But pretty tight hairbend, and the tighter the inside, if you were farther on the inside of the turn, the farther the drop was. So made it on down. Now he's just telling me to basically put my passenger tire on that rock over there to be able to make it through everything. So this is the point where, so we made it through here, this is all rock. So I can imagine, I mean, I was slipping a little bit just coming down this hill. But I can imagine if it was wet how slippery it would be. And this is the point where we had actually gotten stuck with the group in front of us. So there was another group that was coming up the hill as we were coming down. So we had decided actually just to kind of back up and go back where we came, because we found out that past that obstacle there's a even bigger obstacle. And even if we were able to get past that one, there was an even bigger one past that. So we had actually just backed up, and I allowed the audio of this one because I absolutely love the way this Cayenne sounds. So ended up backing up and then just basically hitting the trail back again the way we came. So what I just came down, I got to go right back up. So let's see what we got here. The Jeep's making it up just fine. Now it's my turn to make it up. So you can kind of see there like how much of a, it doesn't look that bad in camera, but when you got to step up, like it's a big step. When you're walking it, it's a pretty big step when you're trying to drive up it. But the Cayenne did just fine. I was quite happy with it. No complaints. And sadly, the camera died right after this, so that is something else I'm going to have to learn. Keep batteries, check charging and stuff like that. So we'll see what we can do. If you guys made it to the end, thank you very much for watching.